Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, July 1st. So welcome to July. If you haven't listened to July's energy forecast, I'm going to recommend you go do so. We're jumping into a brand new month with a brand new energy, with a brand new topic, theme, and life lesson for us to learn. And on this very first day of July, we have some pretty intense aspects, really just driving home what we can expect to experience for the next month. And we can definitely start feeling the vibes of change, the vibes of passion, the vibes of making us jump out of our comfort zone and excitedly embrace the new changes and transformations that we've been working on. So the moon is in Leo all day. It's a beautiful thing. The moon in Leo fires us up. It makes us passionate. It makes us want to stand out, makes us want to be seen and heard. It gives us a boldness, a bravery, a courage that we've been lacking. It definitely aligns us with our heart space. It is the heart and soul of the zodiac. It makes us raw and authentic and vulnerable. And it is the perfect energy to be coming into a brand new month in order for us to be emotionally prepared to take charge, take control, to take our lives by the horns and actually start making things work for us instead of letting things happen to us. There are 8 different aspects taking place here today, and 6 of them involve the moon. We have the moon in Leo energy, making a beautiful aspect with the true node. The true node is our soul's path, our soul's destiny point. It's trying to get us on the right path in the here and now so that we are aligning with our new mission, with our new purpose. The aspect that the moon in Leo is making with the true node suggests that we are bossed up. We are ready to go. We're not looking back. We're only looking forward. We, again, are unleashing these emotions that we need to boss us up, to make us feel brave, to make us feel bold and courageous, to actually go ahead and start taking steps in our physical realm to move forward. This is a beautiful energy. It means that we are ready to have some action take place, that we are seeing progress take place, and that we are excited for the events to come. Now, the sun is going to bump into Saturn, and I say that because it's not the nicest way. It's a little bit of wah wah. Just when we're feeling fired up, just when we're feeling bold and brave, we got Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the tough love life lessoner, really kind of slowing us down. Reason being, the sun is shining a bright light, of course, in Cancer energy, on our new emotions, on the new foundation that we got to get to building. Now, foundations are a good thing for Mr. Saturn because he's all about systems and foundations and structures, especially where roles and responsibilities and karma is concerned. And he's retrograde, trying to show us where in our past experiences we've had similar situations that we failed to boss up from, or that we did boss up from, but now we have an opportunity to actually use that wisdom and knowledge in the here and now to say and to prove to ourselves and the universe that, yeah, we learned the lesson. Here's the proof. Here's how I'm going to do things differently. The reason why this is like a wah wah is because Saturn likes to pump the brakes. Anytime we get any kind of action, anytime we're ready to take a leap forward, Saturn seems to step in and say, I don't know that you're ready. I don't think that's possible. I think you're too bold. I think you're too confident, and tries to shut us down. Now, we're not going to let this shut us down for too long, but there is a little bit of a break being added here. The moon does go ahead and trine Jupiter, which is another fire energy. Why? Because Jupiter is about growth and expansion. He's about pushing us into our big picture vision. He's in Aries energy, the fire energy, for the first time in 12 years. He wants to get things started. He wants to jump into something new. He wants a brand new beginning where new opportunities are available. And this fire on fire is definitely fueling us up and burning that negative ass narrative from Saturn and negative Nancy down to the ground. Now, we do have to be cautious a little bit, even though this is a good vibe. We can be a little bit too sparky, too much on fire, too confident. Jupiter is all about magnifying, turning the volume up, being a little bit overly dramatic, overly confident, overwhelming, overcommitting. We take a lot on. Now, you will often hear me say that, you know what, sometimes when we've been in a funk, that you got to kind of dive in both feet in order to get out of the funk. We know that this is a high vibration, a high frequency that we can overdo, but many of us have been so low and slow that sometimes it's better to throw yourself into the opposite extreme, knowing that you're going to have to reel yourself back in and maybe set yourself up for some disappointments just by being too big, too dramatic, a little bit too extra. I'm just going to say it's a good vibe. I'm going to go with it. I'm throwing all of my cards in on this hand, and I don't even care that we could be setting ourselves up for disappointment by overexerting ourselves or overdoing ourselves or dreaming too big of a dream. We need to bust out of this funk, and this is a beautiful energy to do it. The moon is going to semi-square Mercury. A semi-square isn't the greatest of energies, but here's the vibe. Mercury's in Gemini in its place of power, so it's air on air. We have to be careful because this fire energy from Leo, as we know, if there's too much oxygen added to the fire, we're going to have an out of control fire. We could potentially burn the place down. If there's not enough oxygen added to this fire is going to burn itself out. So the name of the game is to keeping things balanced. So how do we do that, you would say? Well, the moon in Leo is our emotions. We're fired up, we're passionate, we're full of energy, we want to take action, we want to move forward, we want to be heard, we want to be seen. We just want to act, right? Well, Mercury over here in Gemini, which is the air energy, is our thoughts, is our ideas. It's how it is that we're, communicating, talking, maybe we're chatty Cathys. What we need to do is we need to balance the passion, balance the desire, balance the want, need, and desire for change, for movement, for improvement with the logical, practical strategy that we should be thinking thoroughly through in order to consider the consequences of our actions. Fire energy really doesn't care. They would rather act now, deal with the consequences later. We're in the year of 6. We cannot afford to take action without thinking of the consequences. This is where we need to balance the energies. Our heart and our head are not on the same page. Our heart wants to push us forward. Our brain is like, whoa, you can't do that. We have to have a plan here. So there is a little bit of conflict, but the name of the game is striking a balance. Now the moon is going to bump into the sun in a way that would suggest that there is going to be a little bit of conflict in our exterior realms, acting as a trigger, acting as an activation, acting as an opportunity for us to see what it is that we have to change. Now, anytime we have the moon bumping into the sun, there's an overlap. We have the moon very attached to the old, very attached to the past, very attached to the old self. We have the sun illuminating what it is that we need to do from here, the qualities and characteristics that we need to kind of move into in order to create something new. The sun is in Cancer, very focused on new emotional cycles, new foundations being built where our home and our family is concerned, new boundaries being implemented in order for us to protect ourselves, to provide ourselves with safety, security, and stability. The moon over here in Leo energy is very connected to wanting to take action. The old memories, the old part of self that maybe we didn't consider the thoughts and feelings and repercussions of our actions. Now, typically speaking, there's pros and cons to every single energy. The shadow part of Leo energy is that we're a little bit too confident, too arrogant. We're a little bit too self-absorbed, overly dramatic. And all of those action energies that we just want to take now and figure out the consequences later is a part of our old shadow self. We need to bring that into awareness. And what we find is that the gap between the old and the new leaves us in the present moment, where we have to make a choice, where we can override old narratives, old patterns, old behaviors, and choose to do things differently. The moon is going to bump into Neptune in a very strange way. We have Neptune, who is now retrograde, trying to kind of give us a reality check on where it is that maybe our dreams were too big, maybe where it is that we lived in La La Land for too long, maybe we weren't realistic in what it is that we thought we could bring to life, where it is that we've been avoiding certain situations. And this particular energy isn't going to vibe so well with us because it's going to kind of snuff the flame out of this Leo energy that we're all fired up and eager to make moves and be bold and be brave and courageous to move forward. While the Neptune energy is just like, whoa, like, listen, dude, you really didn't, you haven't been present enough in the here and now to take in your environment and what needs to be done in the here and now before we can go ahead and start moving forward. So there's this clash. We have to keep in mind that the Leo energy is fire. The Pisces energy that Neptune is currently retrograde in is water. And what happens? Well, if there's too much emotion, too much action, too much passion, too much desire, too much fire, we're going to boil our emotions and evaporate them. We're going to be emotionless. We're only going to be engaging in action for the sake of taking action, not because our emotions support it. On the other token, if there's too much emotion, too much dream, too much creativity, too much water, we're going to put that spark, that fire, that flame all the way out. And when we don't have any action energy, our dreams will never manifest. They'll never come true. We need to have emotional inspiration and motivation to keep us alive and motivated and inspired to take the action that the fire energy gives to us to actually make the moves in order to bring our dreams to life. So again, another lesson in balancing our energies. The moon is going to sextile Venus. This is a beautiful energy. A sextile is a positive vibe. Venus, of course, the goddess of love and beauty, worth and pleasure and money. She's in Gemini energy, opening up her mind, really piquing her curiosity. She is trying to debate between new choices and decisions and directions and paths. She's trying to figure out what would make her feel emotionally safe and secure, what brings her heart a lot of happiness. And the moon in Leo is all about happiness. That is our heart chakra. We are igniting new passions, new desires, new dreams. And the moon and Venus working together in these energies in this way is really kind of helping us brainstorm through our ideas coming in through the mental plane, our choices, our decisions in the mental plane in that Gemini energy with the spark, the passion, the fire that is currently kind of being reignited in us on where it is that we want to make change and take action. So having these two energies vibe, we are definitely brainstorming on the direction that we want to take, what inspires us, what is making us, fired up and passionate in all the right ways. And from that, one choice, one path, one decision, one direction is definitely being anchored in over the other. Lastly, 10:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a huge aspect taking place. If you are Aries, I want you to pay attention. If you are Scorpio, I really want you to pay attention. We all have Mars and Pluto in our chart. We all have Aries and Scorpio energy in our chart. The reason why I'm bringing this up, especially for my Scorpio friends, is because Mars, who rules over Aries, who co-rules Scorpio, is in Aries energy in his place of power right now. Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, even our anger, is squaring off with, in the boxing ring with, Pluto. Pluto rules over Scorpio. Pluto is the god of the underworld. We have the god of war and the god of the underworld going toe-to-toe in the boxing ring. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn energy, ruling over systems, structures, foundations, roles, and responsibilities, recognizing because we're in a retrograde where in the past we've given our power away and where in the here and now we got to take it back. Bottom line, these two entering into the boxing ring, this is a fight for power. This is a drive. This is a fury for power. We're going to each feel this on an individual level. We're also going to see this on a collective level. We want to make sure that we keep in the highest vibe possible because there's likely going to be a lot of anger, frustration, even violence emerge underneath this particular aspect. Even more than that, not only are we on a quest for power in our own lives, power over ourselves, power in the world, we are also going to be illuminated in our lives where it is that maybe we've abused power or misused power, or where other people have abused and misused power against us. And of course, on the global collective stage right now, that is not hard to see where it is that we've had a huge abuse and misuse of power. Now, temperatures are going to be high, okay? Temperatures are popping off. We're in a brand new month. ruling over the lesson of 7, where peace, harmony, and balance is needed. So if that is the lesson, we have to expect that the evildoer agenda is going to do everything in their power to make that lesson as hard as freaking possible. That's us to us light workers, to hold the line, to anchor in the vibration of one love, one passion, one desire, one good vibe to override these negative narratives that are popping off. Mars squaring Pluto will unleash and unlock a new level of anger, frustration, and rage within us, within the collective. We will be so freaking obsessed with these topics and themes. We will be angered, activated, agitated, triggered in all the wrong ways in order to invoke these kinds of emotions. Why? Because that's what the dark force agenda feeds off of. That's why we have to have this heads up. We have to have the opportunity to override these narratives. We have to keep our own emotions in check so that we're not feeding into the collective's energy, which of course is feeding the dark force agenda. It is going to be a huge power struggle in us. Why? Because we want to take action in order to transform, but there are so many different aspects pumping the brakes on our efforts that we're feeling powerless. That's why we are pushing ourselves to gain the power that we are feeling powerless with. This is a whole thing. This is a whole vibe. This is a whole funk. But hopefully, now that we know that we can expect this vibration and frequency to have the power over us that it wants, we can do our part to override the narrative, override the vibration and frequency, and nip this whole topic and theme of energy harvesting for the dark force agenda in the bud.